I would call him as evil. When you look at him, you could see pure evil.
He would seemingly just sort of blow in and blow out, leaving a trail of violence in his wake.
He stabbed him, he shot him, he strangled him. Didn't matter to him. Whatever was convenient, that's what he used.
He kept tapes of some of this. He documented a lot of his executions.
He wanted to be notorious. He wanted to be famous.
He never got that notoriety.
We were sort of disentangling the Vietnam conflict in this day and age in American history, and I think it's possible that people are maybe just a little sort of tired of reading the news, tired of turning on their televisions and having news anchors reading them things. They were tired of violence, tired of the shock and concern.
At that time, Central State Hospital was going on, had about 12,000 patients out there.
I enjoyed growing up in that time. We didn't have cell phones. We didn't have a lot of this stuff. Computers were something I didn't know about until I got into college. It was a lot outdoors, a lot more probably than some of the kids now.
Milledgeville and GCSU is thriving. We have the latest in computers, radios, and cameras.
In November 1974, the police department received a phone call from Ms. Carr. She found her husband and daughter deceased. As far as the injuries, he was stabbed like 40, 50 times. She was strangled, raped. Stuff was stolen from the house.
Amanda was a girl in my class. We had, I don't know how long I had probably known her, but growing up through middle school, high school, possibly even elementary school, the different classes. But when all that happened, pretty much shock. It wasn't unusual for somebody not to come to school one day, sick or out of town or doing something else. But then to find out later, either that, I can't remember if that evening or the next day at school, that she had actually been murdered, it was just disbelief. Again, shocks. How could something like that happen?
We thought it might have been a patient from the state hospital, and because of the way the house was ransacked and the brutality, we figured it might have been a crazy person from the state. They called in the GBI because it was so extensive as far as the injuries. We had no idea who we were looking for.
He stole some credit cards from the cars, and then they started using those, or he started using those in other places, and then that turned out to link him into the murders here, and then they started tying him into other murders that had happened.
We got a call from Florida. They had gotten involved with a chase with an individual who later turned to be Paul John Knowles. In the car he was driving, they found a Atlanta Journal-Constitution newspaper on the back seat. On the front page was a story about the car murders in Milledgeville. When he walked up to the car, Knowles pulled a shotgun on him and took him as prisoner, put him and the businessman that he had abducted, Myers from Delaware, in the patrol car, and they were riding down the road in the patrol car. Knowles driving and the troopers in the back seat. And I think he got to figuring that wasn't too bright.
He took them out into a wooded area, handcuffed them with the troopers' handcuffs around a tree, and then basically executed them by shooting them in the head with the troopers' gun.
He tried to run a roadblock in Jonesboro, Georgia. He wrecked the car, got out, and took off running, exchanged gunfire with the deputy. He was shot in the leg. Subsequent to that, He was captured by a youth. He was out rabbit hunting on Knowles. He run up on Knowles and he was bleeding. He had a shotgun and he took him into custody and notified the authorities. They got there and apprehended him. I was typing up his fingerprint cards, and we had a nurse in there to draw blood for analysis. He scared the nurse. She was scared of him. He had I don't know how to describe it, a strange look about him. Eventually, when he got out of jail, he went to California. Some woman in California had befriended him and wanted to marry him. So he went to California. And before he got there, she had gone to a psychic. And the psychic told her that there was a bad dude coming into her life, and the best thing she could do was get out of it. So when he got to California and found out that she had turned him down, that she didn't want anything to do with him, and everybody that was involved in the case believed that's what really set him off on his crime spree, killing people. I think I documented 18 people that he killed. I think he told his lawyer that he killed 35 people. I don't know, but I would venture to say that he killed more than 35 people. I think he probably killed somebody in every town he stayed in. Traveled from Jacksonville to California to Maine. He killed people in Ohio, back to Georgia. The day he died, he was transported in the back seat of an uncaged car, handcuffed in front, no leg irons, had shoes on. Supposedly had a gym clip in his mouth. He took it and unlocked his handcuffs. Reached over the seat, attempted to get Earl Lee's gun, shot a hole through the seat. Ron Angel pulled his weapon and turned and shot him in the chest, killed him. He was killed before he could be tried. Ted Bundy got his notoriety when he was tried for the killings at the fraternity house in Tallahassee, I believe, where he killed the students.
I would mostly credit his sort of premature death with the reason why he did not receive greater notoriety. I think that the criminal trial process for a serial killer is extremely influential for determining notoriety of said serial killer, because the trial is really the public's opportunity to not only get to know the facts of the case, but to actually allow themselves to digest those facts and to sort of create any internal feelings that they're going to have about the alleged serial killer at that point. So Knowles' confessions and sort of his charisma and his personality really could have been on display. If this had gone to trial and people were able to hear him speak, were able to see him in the courtroom, it's this case where he wouldn't have looked or acted like your typical courtroom defendant.
He was basically known as the Casanova killer, so I guess he was pretty much a sweet talker. Had a real good pickup line for picking up people and doing different things.
Women thought he was a Casanova. That's how he got the name Casanova Killer. Women thought he was handsome. I didn't.